Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be all about the potential of bigger iPads down the road. Now this is pretty crazy because I personally bought the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, I think it was just last year, and I thought that thing was absolutely huge, like way too big. So I returned that and bought the 11-inch, and now there's reports saying that we could be seeing like a 14, 15, or 16-inch iPad down the line. Now this is coming from Mark Gurman, who is extremely accurate, and he is claiming that Apple is working on essentially a giant iPad, and I don't know how I feel about that because, you know, it sounds cool, but I don't really think you need one bigger than a 12.9-inch, but let's go ahead and keep talking about this. So we know that the new MacBook Pro is most likely going to be a 14 and 16-inch model, and if a new iPad Pro comes in a bigger size like a 14-inch, that really just means it's going to be a laptop replacement. Like, this thing is going to cost a lot of money, probably more than some of the MacBooks, so there would be no excuse from Apple to not include pro-level apps with this iPad Pro Max. This thing is going to be huge. It's most likely going to have an M series processor, so it is definitely capable of being a full-on laptop or desktop replacement. Now, Apple released the 12.9-inch iPad Pro in 2015. It took a little bit of time to adopt that size because a lot of people were like, oh my god, this thing is just massive. This is way too big for an iPad, and I totally understand why people would think that because it is huge. Like I said, I bought the 12.9-inch and it was just massive. Like, walking around the house just trying to stream stuff just felt super awkward and weird, but over the years it's kind of got more normal. Now, if this does happen and Apple releases this iPad that's just absolutely monstrous, we better be getting some pro-level apps. There's no reason at that point. Like, if you have a 14 or 15, maybe even a 16-inch iPad Pro with a super powerful chip, like this year we got the M1 in the 2021 iPad Pro, if there is not pro-level apps on a device that big, I don't know what they're doing over there, but I definitely think that we should be getting pro-level apps with something that big. But the weird part about this whole thing is, like, the iPad is supposed to be something that's really portable, very lightweight, and very versatile, and if you just make it absolutely monstrous, it kind of loses a little bit of that portability. But I know a lot of people that are probably gonna buy a bigger size like this are using it as a stationary device and maybe even a laptop replacement, so it does make sense for those individuals using it for like creative purposes or just everyday work when it's not really moving around that much. But if you're someone that's, you know, traveling a lot or just kind of moving around and have to carry around this iPad with you, if this thing is 14, 15, or possibly 16 inches, that really loses the portability. Like, the reason why I love my 11-inch iPad Pro is it's just a perfect size. Like, you can walk around the house, toss it in a bag, do whatever you want with it because of its compact form factor. But granted, like I said, I know a lot of people are going to be super excited by a 14, 15, or 16-inch iPad Pro. I'm sure the display on that thing is going to be insane. The chip is probably going to be crazy as well, and this could segue Apple into making one device that's like a MacBook and an iPad put together, because I don't really see people in the future, like let's say the next 5, 10, 15 years, buying like a 15 or 16-inch iPad Pro, which is probably going to cost a lot, and then also owning a laptop and an iPhone and other Apple devices. I think they're just getting so close to each other that they're probably just going to converge in the next few years. We've seen other brands do it, having laptops with touch displays, and the fact that Apple is using the chips that they use in their computers now on the tablets just signals to me that in a few years' time we probably will see a little bit of a convergence there. But at the same time, we know Apple's in the business of making money, of course, and they have two great sellers, being the MacBook lineup and the iPad lineup, so they're probably going to want to keep them separate for as long as they can, and that's probably the reason why we haven't seen macOS on the iPad Pro yet, because if they put macOS on the iPad Pro, a lot of people are just going to buy the iPad Pro. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But this is pretty exciting. Like, a 14, 15, or 16-inch iPad Pro sounds ridiculous, but it could be like a really awesome product. Now, obviously, none of this is like confirmed or anything. Mark Gurman is just claiming that Apple could be working towards this and releasing it in the next few years. Leave a comment down below if you guys would be interested in a giant iPad Pro. I'm kind of on the fence on this whole thing because I could definitely see myself buying one, reviewing it, unboxing it, and then just using it for like everyday purposes. I'm really into watching sports and YouTube and everything on my iPad, and having a bigger display could be a good thing, but I'm still satisfied with my 11-inch iPad Pro, so it would definitely take some great features to make me want to buy something that's way bigger. Plus, like I said, this thing is going to cost a lot of money, so make sure you start saving your pennies, because I think it's going to start around maybe $1,600-1,700 if this does happen. But I definitely think it's going to cause a little bit of conflict for consumers debating on whether or not they should buy a MacBook or an iPad, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see how they differentiate the products, or if in a few years time they just say screw it, it, let's just combine the two and charge a premium price. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about the potential of a bigger iPad. Are you all for it, like bigger is better, or do you think Apple's making a mistake? Let me know down below. That's it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe. There is a ton of content coming for the rest of the month, guys. Like, I have a ton of stuff being shipped to my house right now. It's been a little bit dry the last week because there hasn't really been a lot of news and I haven't been getting a lot of products, but things are going to be turning up a notch very soon, so stay tuned. Other than that, thank you again for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video.